Hi, guys. Welcome to Horizon episode 22, a podcast empowering women to heal, overcome trauma, and embrace change. Through our community, we strive to inspire women to create a future where they lead with love, confidence, and courage, helping break boundaries and reach new horizons. Hi, guys. We are coming to you from the Jungle Studios, and this episode is brought to you by Guerrilla Marketing, a full-service marketing agency where they bring your content creations to life. Guerrilla Marketing, they just don't make content. They bring your experiences to life on a larger scale. From social media marketing campaigns to branded content, they make sure that your brand stands out. Now, I am so excited to have my friend, my very good friend here, Gabby. Gabby.
Hi,
babe.
guys.
How are you?
Good. And yourself?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. So on today's episode, we are going to be covering a little bit of the reality of what's going on within the immigration community. It's one thing for us to see it on the internet and the news, but it's another thing when you actually experience it and it hits so close to home. Gabby, I know that your mom had an immigration interview to get her residency exactly 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And can you tell us more of what happened in that interview?
Well, 2 weeks ago, exactly today, 2 weeks ago, my mom had an immigration appointment at the immigration center. And honestly, my whole family did not see this coming. We thought like it was a win situation. She's been fighting for years for her to get her residency. She's been here since 1988.
Okay.
And she has no criminal record. She loves ushering at church. You know, she's always helping everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that day, it was just crazy how it happened. Sorry.
It's okay. Breathe.
You know, I ended up meeting there with my parents and I just thought it was a win situation. So I didn't even hug my mom. Mm-hmm. And I think we're all just nervous, but like, okay, we're going to go out for breakfast to celebrate after, you know? And when she did the interview, they didn't let me in. So they told me to wait in the lobby. And then they did let my dad in, but like 5 minutes later, he did step out because he told him to step out. So I didn't think anything of it. 30 minutes passed. I see my dad get up and he didn't sit back down. He looked nervous. Mm-hmm. So I remember when he was getting his residency, I think he was remembering also like, hey, it didn't take this long, you know?
Right.
So an hour passed and then another 30 minutes. And then that's when they call us like family of so-and-so, meet us at the door. So we went, you know, I'm thinking like, okay, maybe this is happening, you know, it's going to be good. But then
let me just clarify. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You guys went to her immigration appointment, right?
Yes.
And she already had been submitting for her residency for a while.
Yes, for years.
Okay.
So this appointment was given to her since February of this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So once we go in there, my dad pats my back. Mm-hmm. So I kind of felt like, okay, maybe this is not good news. And once I get to the room, there was an agent at the door and my mom was no longer there. So once I went in fully, the agent was like, I'm so sorry. Unfortunately, and I just didn't let him finish. I just started crying and I'm like, no, you can't take my mom. Like, what are you doing? You know, like my parents have no bad intentions of being here. You know, they just came for a better future for, you know, for themselves, for the kids, you know,
right.
And like, how is this fair? And the agent looked like he wanted to cry because I did tell him like, you know, you have kids, like how would your kids feel? But I get it. He was doing his job,
right.
You know, but now that I think of it and I'm processing the situation, the room that my mom was scheduled to be in was the last room of that facility. So there was an exit door. So I think that they already know once they have that person's paperwork, okay, this person's going to be detained or this person is going to get their residency.
So prior to them walking in there, because they already have the file, they're able to determine before you guys walk in if they will or will not get their residency.
Yes, that's what I feel like. That's what it looked like.
So they didn't even allow you to say goodbye?
No, they didn't. And I did ask like, oh, can I see her before, you know, you guys take her? They're like, oh, she's already gone. She's been gone. And I was like, no wonder they took an hour and a half, because
So you guys were there for an hour and a half and then they spoke to you guys.
yes.
Okay.
So my mom says it was like roughly 20 minutes from when she walked into the room and when they took her out.
So she was already out of the building by the time that they reached you guys with the news of what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And the person that interviewed her was no longer in the room either. So it was just her lawyer, the interpreter, and the 2 ICE agents.
So you did take a lawyer with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I did talk to the lawyer before. And I'm like, that was my first time meeting him. And I'm like, how do you feel about the case? And he did mention, like, I've been doing this for 40 something years.
Mm-hmm.
And I would feel confident. But with what's going on right now, I don't know what to say.
Oh, wow. So even he was a little bit...
Yes. It's just unpredictable of what's going on.
Right.
And after they took her, well, we asked the lawyer, like, okay, what now? And then he's like, I can't do anything. There's nothing to do because she's already within ICE custody.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, no, we're not taking that as an answer, So we're like, driving home. I did pull over for like about an hour to like get my emotions out because I just felt so lost. Like I didn't know what was going on. I think I was still in shock. Like, wait, this was not supposed to happen,
Yeah.
So we all met up at my parents' house. Well, with my dad. And a few hours later, my mom called and she told us where she was at. And she said she was okay. And she said, I'm not signing the deportation. I'm going to fight the case.
Okay, so they gave them an option to either send them out or to fight the case.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I thought my mom was going to just sign, because I didn't think she was going to go through with everything that would come with that. But she sounded strong. She has a lot of faith.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was helping her.
Okay.
And that gave us the courage, like, okay, let's keep it going then. Okay. She said, green light, let's go. That day, I cried so much that my face was like hurting. I've never cried that much.
Okay.
And
I can imagine, honestly, to have like your mom taken from you so abruptly like that could definitely do that to you for sure.
I just didn't think it was going to happen. She's a good person, not just because she's my mom, but I didn't see no wrong. The only wrong thing she did was coming here and getting detained,
mm-hmm.
getting a deportation. But I feel like she came here at 19 years old. She's now 56 years old.
So her whole life is here.
Yes. Her husband, her kids, her grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
What will she go back to?
Her whole life's over here. And I think that's what a lot of people need to, or maybe they don't understand, but once you've established your life somewhere and that's where you resided for the remainder of your life since you came here, to now be thrown back out, whether you are from that place, Mexico, wherever it may be, right? To just be thrown back over there without family, without knowing, yes, that is where you're from, but that's not where you belong.
Yes.
So that yes, I understand.
Yeah, and that day when she called, well, obviously we're all emotional. I'm like, you know what? Let me take some Tylenol, go to sleep. I need to like get on my A game, And once I woke up, I'm like, okay, let's call lawyers. So we started calling lawyers. We met up with lawyers.
So the lawyer that you had previously
basically quit.
So he didn't want to take the case.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Because he just said like there was nothing else to do. And we were definitely not taking that as an answer.
Okay.
Yeah. So we met up with the lawyer that day. A lot of lawyers didn't want to take her case because she was already in ICE custody, I'm assuming. But we did talk to this one lawyer that we have now. Mm-hmm. And she was very interested. My dad and my brothers met up with her on Saturday and they started the case.
Okay.
And ever since then, we've been working with her. And it's been so much these past 2 weeks. And the thing is that we just never heard of someone so close being detained. So we are learning as we're going.
Okay.
So on Friday, she got detained in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
She was at one location after. And then by that night, she was already at a different location.
Okay.
On Saturday, she was still in that same location. And that's when she said that was the most worst day of these 2 weeks that it has been.
So she got moved to 3 different locations in less than 24 hours. Or in about 24 hours?
2 locations.
2 locations.
Yes.
Okay.
And on that second location, she said there was a lot of discrimination.
Okay.
It's a small room. It's her and 14 other people.
Oh, wow.
They have one bench and they have to take turns to sleep. And they have to use the restroom right there in front of.
So basically, they're
people.
just put in a room with a restroom and a bench, and they all have to rotate to be able to sit.
Yes, and sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then that's when my mom told me, well, not that day, but she did mention now that I got to see her on Sunday, she said that's the day that was like the worst for her. And she was crying the whole day. She just couldn't believe what was going on. Mm-hmm. And she did say there was these other younger girls that she was talking to, and they were taking care of her. They were like, oh, you need a rest. You need to sleep, get some sleep, you know? And it's so freezing cold in there. She did say that.
Wow.
And she's diabetic. Okay. So they can't really say no to her when she needs something. Okay. Because of her sickness. And there was other people that asked for water in the morning and didn't get the water till the night.
So they weren't meeting their needs.
Yeah.
Even their basic needs was just water, to be hydrated, none of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And after that, on Sunday morning, like at 3 a.m, she called my brother, but the call didn't go through. So he did call us that morning, and we're all thinking like, what's going on? You know, like, why would she call at 3 a.m? And I went to church that day, but I just felt like anxiety, like something's wrong, you know? So I just called my older brother and I'm like, hey, let's go to that last location she was at. Let's see what we can find. I know it's a Sunday, but let's give it a shot.
So you decided to go to where she was last at. Okay.
Yeah. And I was like a crazy girl just trying to open the doors. Just let me see somebody so I can ask questions, you know? And I didn't see anybody there. I was walking out of that area of that building and I see some lady pulling out from the parking lot where she's coming from court. And I stopped her and I told her like, hey, my mom's been detained. Like she was here. I don't have information about her. Like, can you help me? So she took my mom's information and she's like, okay, as soon as I get into work on Monday, I will give you information. So I'm like, perfect. So I started walking to my car, but she did mention, go check the prison, go check the jail that's around that area.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay. So I started walking towards my car and she had already left. And then she still turned around and she honked at me. She said, do you need a ride? Oh. And I was like, no, I'm okay. I have my ride right here, but thank you. So that felt good, you know, like going through something like this, you feel like everything's shutting down. Mm-hmm. No one's on your side, but there's still good people out there.
So she gave you a glimpse of humanity still.
Yes.
Okay.
So we went to go check the prison, the jail. She was not there. And then for some reason, I just decided to go online to check on her information on the immigration website. And I saw that she was already at a different state.
Yeah. Okay. She was out of state.
Yeah. So right away, we just, you know, me and my brothers decided like, hey, let's go to that state tomorrow and see what we can do. Mm-hmm. So we ended up going that Monday morning and we're on our way. And the lady that I saw at the court on Sunday, I messaged her. I'm like, hey, thank you so much for the information. I'm on my way to that state to see where my mom is at. And she messaged me right away and she was like, I would call the facility just to make sure she is there because they tend to move them around. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, wow.
So I called the facility and they told me my mom was there. And then they're like, how far are you? I'm like, I'm just an hour away. She's like, okay, perfect. You'll make it on time.
Okay.
So we get there. She's no longer there.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So we're like, what's going on? So at that point, we don't have information, but thank God the agent that was helping us at the door told us where she was at.
Okay.
So we ended up going to that location and me and my 2 brothers got off and we were like ringing and it's like a prison. So it's so hard to get in there.
Okay.
So I just told them like, hey, we're just here trying to see my mom and get some paper signed because she has a new attorney. Like we need at least one signature. And they're like, no, there's no visitations today. And they just kept saying no. And my little brother's like, hold on, let's wait. And my older brother was already crying. And I just leaned on the mic and I just kept blowing it up. And I was like, I'm not leaving until I see her or until I get a signature.
Okay. So you needed her signature for her new lawyer?
Yes.
Okay.
To represent her.
Okay.
So to get in there, it was 2 other doors. and it's all very protected, very gated. And she ended up opening the door.
Wow.
Yeah. So we got in there and I was explaining the case. I was explaining how everything happened. And she started like feeling, you know, like, oh my God, like, let me help her, you know? But then the other agent comes and obviously not everybody's the same.
Right.
And she's like, no, you can't and you can't.
So she was willing to help.
Yeah. She called somebody to see what they can do for us.
Okay.
And they didn't say no. But once the other agent came to the room, it was already a no.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we ended up leaving. And then from there, we just went to go get something to eat real quick. But then we were thinking like, hey, that paper has other locations around there. Like maybe we can go to the other side and they have doors. Like, let's ask questions.
Okay.
So we ended up going back and we knocked. They said they couldn't help us. And then we went to the other door. También no nos podían ayudar. So I just told my little brother, hey, just pull up right here. I'll try one more time to the first place that we got to.
Okay.
I got off the car with the paperwork, and basically when I got off, there was other agents there at the entrance and I was ringing and they started like, can we help you? And I was like, my mom is here. I know she's here. They already told me she's here, that she just came in the bus. I just need one signature. I don't need to see her at this point. Just help me out. And I explained the case to them. And then they're like looking at each other like they did want to help, but they didn't. But then there was another agent coming and I guess she was clocking in. So she was hearing me and she's like, I can help her if you guys are okay with it.
Okay.
And they're like, okay, just give her one paper. So when I looked at the file, I'm like, which one should I give? You know, I didn't know which one was the most important one. Right. So I just gave the top one and she took it. And I was like, oh my God, hopefully she comes back, you know,
with a signature. Yeah.
So we're waiting. And while I'm waiting, like there's no shade. It's so hot. And I was standing by the rocks and like some lady comes out from the facility and she's like, don't stand on the rocks. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, where do you want me to stand? Yeah. I'm out here in the dry heat.
I know, I'm sorry. I was just trying to get some shade. She's like, there's shade in the parking lot. And there's no shade in the parking lot. But, you know, at this point, I'm like, I'm not going to fight. I need that signature and it's okay. So another guy comes out and he's like, are you waiting for her signature? And I was like, yeah, I am. He's like, she'll be right out.
Okay.
So when she came out, girl, when I saw my mom's signature, it was like, she's alive. Okay. Not that I didn't know she was alive, but just like it's real. Yeah, that's her signature, you know, her little A that she does, you know. And I started telling her like, hey, did you tell her that her daughter was here? And she's like, I didn't know who you were. I was just trying to help you.
But I did the signature.
Yeah. And she's like, but I did tell her that she has family here. Okay. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And I just started telling her like, this was not supposed to happen. My mom's sick. Like she takes like 10 different medications. Like she doesn't belong here. Not that anybody else does, but I'm here for my mom. You know? Yeah. So she's like, you're going to make me cry. Like keep faith, keep strong. I tell them to stay strong because I know what they're going through is hard. Yeah. So her helping her, girl, it took it a long way. We were able to continue.
Well, just that one signature, you were able to proceed. Okay.
Yes. And we ended up going home, you know, not happy, but like, okay, we did what we could, you know? Yes. And then let's get it going. And ever since then, the lawyer has been working nonstop. She's amazing. Okay. From 4 a.m. to 11, just because she has to move quick. Yes. Because as the days are going, they're moving quick. Okay. You know, so during the weekend, obviously the court is closed. Right. But ICE is still working. Yes. Because from Friday to Sunday, she was at a different location. That gives us no time to fight and let her fight through California, you know? So it makes it a lot harder. My mom did say that where she's at, she's okay. We did get to see her on Sunday. Okay. And
so is she like at a detention center or do you know like what is it, a jail just for immigrants or do you know?
It's a detention center. Okay. It's for people that are immigrants.
Okay. So just strictly. Okay.
Yeah. But they're color coordinated. So if they're like a certain color, that just means you're just an immigrant. If they have a different color, it means maybe you have something on your record. If they have a higher color, that means child abuse or domestic violence. And the last color would be a criminal.
But they're all immigrants in the detained center.
Yes.
Okay. They're just, they have them categorized.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But they're not blended.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're
They have
kept
them
separate.
separated,
Yeah. Okay.
So that gives us comfort too,
Yes.
And we did get to see her on Sunday, like I mentioned, and she did say that it, that in that place, obviously it's like a prison jail. They have breakfast at 5 a.m, lunch at 11 a.m,
Okay.
dinner at 4. They can make phone calls, but obviously everything is money.
Okay.
So if they don't have money, they can't make calls. If they don't,
so it's a jail for immigrants.
Yes.
Okay.
And they have a cell, and if they don't listen, they get put in the pot naked.
Okay.
It's kind of still the same
They
thing.
just treat them like criminals.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can't say that my mom has been treated bad, because she did say that in that place she's been treated good.
Okay.
And I am blessed. We're happy for that, but I'm sure that there's other places that it doesn't go that way,
I'm sure.
And like I said, in that other location, the second location she hit, it was a lot of discrimination, and not just towards her, towards everybody.
So it just depends, I think, on the facility and the members in the facility. I understand that, a lot of these people are doing their jobs. It's not something that they want to do, but it's something that they're being paid to do, and that's what comes with it. And it's unfortunate that it's gotten to this point, honestly, where this is reality, and it's different when you see someone go through it or you experience it, as opposed to, what we see on the internet. But this is real. This is 2025. And there is, from doing my research, I know that there is a lot of immigrants in there that have been fighting for their residency or trying to get citizenship, have submitted, I think, documentation like your mom has. And just how I think just things have been done has been very unjust. And they don't even have a chance to try to, what is it called? Do things the right way.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to talk about like, well, if they did things the right way. And here we have a case where she's been trying to do things the right way for a couple of years now. And it's gotten
since 1990 something. She's been trying.
Wow. And here we are, here now. And just like that, in a blink of an eye,
our life changed.
Your life changed.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. And obviously it's my mom.
Right.
We're feeling it. We're going through it. But there's other cases that are worse. She was mentioning to us that there's a couple in there, because there's guys and girls. Obviously, they're separated.
Okay.
And he's from Salvador and the wife is from Mexico.
Okay.
And they were both fighting, but they ended up giving up because it's been too long. They have 2 kids at home, but it's unfortunate that they're both being deported to 2 different countries.
So you said they're a married couple, and she's from where?
Mexico.
And he's from El Salvador.
Yes.
And they're sending them back to where they're from,
yes,
having established the whole family here,
yes,
and their children being Americans.
Yes.
And now they're being deported back individually to their own country, where that's not home to them anymore.
They're breaking homes.
Wow.
And that day that we did get to see my mom, there was a lot of babies. There was a lot of kids visiting their parents.
Wow.
It's a lot of kids that are going through it. And it's like, there's not enough help. There's not enough funding. There's not enough money. Because if you don't have money, you're not going to get too far.
Right.
Pro bono, obviously, it's going to take time, you know?
Right.
So you need a lawyer to move quick.
Correct.
But at the same time, ICE is moving 10 times faster than you are.
They are.
And you can't go against that.
I mean, the good thing that you brought up is ICE, right? I was doing my research, and I just want to read a couple of facts here that so right now, as of August 10th of 2025, there are 59,380 people in ICE custody. 70.4% have no criminal convictions. And then we have 31,281 people booked as of July of 2025. And let me tell you here, the funding and expansion. I know you said that they're, to your last point, a lot of them don't have the money and there's not enough programs, right? But what my research that I did, there have I guess it was signed July 4th of 2025, and it's called One Big Beautiful Bill Act. And it is for $170 billion total for border and immigration enforcement. And this is not to help immigrants. This is for them to capture immigrants. ICE specific is $45 billion over 4 years, and to add 100,000 new detention beds, which is increasing 365%. And then we have $29.9 billion for 10,000 new ICE agents for transportation and deportation. So this is all funding for ICE, for them to capture immigrants and deport them, right? Is that what it is? Deport.
Yes.
There's also a couple of other bills here that are being, other allocations in the bill for local enforcement, border patrol agents, surveillance and border techs, immigration court judge and staff. So this is something that is becoming reality for the next couple of years, and it's being enforced heavily. I see here that ICE plans to nearly double detention capacity to 107,000 beds, 125 facilities targeted for expansion or new construction. And this includes mega centers, soft-sided facilities, and revived family detention sites. And some of the locations are Texas, California, Georgia, LA, Oklahoma. Those are just some of the states that are already preparing for this, right? And this is something that they plan to implement within the funding spread of the 4 years. And the goal, from what I'm reading here, is that it's up to 1 million deportations per year. So this is the new reality for immigrants in America.
Yeah.
And it's sad, honestly, because it's like you stated earlier, it's breaking homes. It's sending family members, parents, brothers, sisters back to where, originally that's where they're from, but they're not, how would I say it? That's not where their life resides anymore.
And they're not familiar with that anymore.
They're not familiar with it. Correct. Okay. So moms, we're fighting, right?
Yes, we are.
And obviously that's taking time, that's taking faith, that's taking money, that's taking a lot of strain emotionally, mentally for you, your family.
Yes.
What have you learned through all this, Gabby?
Honestly, it has humbled me.
Okay.
I didn't see this coming.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't take anything for granted.
Yeah.
Because that day, I just grabbed her hand. I didn't get to hug her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm carrying that heavy.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you just never know when it's the last day. And thank God she's still alive. But it sucks to know she's in there. Mm-hmm. It sucks to go see her and not be able to bring her.
Yeah.
And she just doesn't belong there. And I'm not saying just her. A lot of people don't belong there.
Yeah.
You know, I get for people that broke the law, as in, you know, raping and child abuse,
right,
all those type of things.
Right.
But she's not a bad person. She has no criminal record. There's no reason for her to be there. And even she did mention when she was at that immigration appointment, the agent that came to get her, he even felt bad. He's like, I'm so sorry, but I'm doing my job. And she just gave her wrist and she's like, it's okay. I understand. And he like put her in the car.
Wow.
And they were nice to her. Mm-hmm. Once they got to that first facility, he asked my mom, are you a cold person? Like, as in, like, do you get cold quick? And then she's like, yeah, why? He's like, let me see if I can find something for you. And he did.
Wow.
But he knew she was going to need it.
Yeah.
Because it's
how
freezing
cold it's in there.
And that day we went to go see her on Sunday, it was freezing and I was wearing a long sleeve and her lips are purple.
Wow.
But I think she already adjusted to that temperature.
Mm-hmm.
But she kept telling us, things happen for a reason. I don't understand why. We won't understand why. But as long as I'm fighting, you guys are fighting.
That's right.
And that just gives us strength. Like, let's keep it going. Until she says stop, we'll stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is, I mean, You talking to mom, what does mom see a lot of in there? Like her, or what does she tell you about, since she's been in
Someone
there?
did try committing suicide
Oh, wow.
last week.
Okay.
She did mention that. There's people that wake up screaming and they have to give them something so they can calm down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure there's a lot of people that have been through trauma,
Mm-hmm.
even just crossing the border or whatever the case is,
Yeah.
So they're dealing with what's going on and they're dealing with life issues. People don't get enough money because their family doesn't have enough money to be sent. It's like the max they can spend is a certain amount, but not everybody gets that.
Well, I mean, if we think about it, immigrants, our parents, came here for a better life.
Yes.
And find a better financial life as well.
Yes.
Right? Not just a better life, but financial life. And they did that.
Yes.
I can speak, my mom is an entrepreneur, your dad's an entrepreneur, and they did come to America and they did build a better life for themselves, and they nos han sacado adelante,
Yes.
and to see that this is happening, which what I believe is America, a country that is made of immigrants, and it's sad. It's heartbreaking. It's unfair. It's unjust. And just how things are being handled is even more, it's, I don't know how to describe it. There's not enough word to describe what's going on right now and the reality of the situation. But there has to be something that can be done. I mean, like you stated, your mom, the lawyer is trying so many different ways to try to fight for this, but it's becoming hard.
Yes, her case is hard, and a lot of people have a deportation. They were trying to come over here, and unfortunately they did get caught.
Yeah.
And that makes it hard.
Yeah.
Because that's already on their record. But I just think like they should look at their record. Like there's no criminal record. That's the only thing they have on file.
That they came here illegally for a better life. Mm-hmm. And that is the only record they have.
Yes.
I was reading too that only 10% of the immigrants in there have records. The rest of them don't. And I was reading also that they are taking people that already have their residency. They are still taking them into these detention centers with their residency, or some even have their citizenship.
My mom did mention that also.
She did?
That there's people that have residency.
Okay.
And they're there right now.
I know that we were talking about, because I did ask you, what if she didn't show up, right, to her immigration? What if just the lawyer showed up? I have heard that they are going to their home and picking them up.
I'm not
sure if
from my understanding, if she didn't show up to her appointment, SWAT would have picked her up.
Okay.
So from my understanding, us going through this, anybody that has an appointment, they already know if they're going to be detained or not.
Yes.
So if they don't show up, they already have your information.
Yeah, and they're
going after everybody.
They are.
Because they're getting picked up at work. They're getting picked up. For example, there was 2 girls that my mom mentioned from the second location. They got picked up at the fair.
Wow.
So they followed them to the fair.
Wow, that's crazy.
Another one got picked up at home.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're going after everybody. And it's unfortunate because a lot of people say, do it the right way. There's no right way. Because even though you've been trying for so many years, it's still hard.
Right.
And it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
And my dad now, thank God he's a citizen, but it took him forever.
Right.
And I just think like my parents did that sacrifice of leaving their family behind for us to have a better future.
Right.
And my dad got this far off of one income, because my mom was a stay-at-home mom, mm-hmm. She was the princess.
Yeah.
And he got this far. How can we not?
That's right.
So when people say, oh, well, then go back to Mexico because you guys can go back and forth. That's not the point. Because my mom's life is already here. She already sacrificed her not being there when her dad passed away. Her sister passed away. Other family members have passed away. She has sacrificed not being able to go.
She has sacrificed her own family back home for her family here that she already.
Yes.
Right.
And that's
right.
like us sacrificing our siblings, our parents. I can't get that thought across. Because just as much as my kids are my family, they're my family.
I agree.
And I'd fight the same way.
I agree. I mean, I put myself in your shoes, honestly, and my only parent is my mom. So I cannot even wrap my head around what I would do without my mother, honestly. And to her to go back to, Mexico, yeah, that's where she's from, but she's not established like that with her family. Most of our family, is scattered all over the place and not in Mexico. So she wouldn't have anywhere to go. And I'm sure a lot of, families can relate to this. And it's sad just how things have gotten. And, I commend the fight. I commend, your mom, like she said, todo pasa por una razón. And I'm a strong believer in that as well. And, I believe that this also is bringing us closer to faith, and in what we believe. And at the end of the day, we pray for the best, but in lo que vaya a pasar, va a pasar por una razón. And we just ask, that, how would I say it? Dios nos dé el
entendimiento.
Yes. And thank you so much, friend, for coming on here and sharing your story and giving us a little bit of an insight as to what really is going on.
Thank you for having me.
I didn't want to make this episode about politics. I wanted it to be more of the human side of what's really going on, with real life scenarios, real life, what's going on and how people are trying to do it right. And it's still not, they're denying, rejecting, and opposing absolutely every single way for immigrants to stay. And, I just pray that things work out for the best. We were literally a week prior to that happening. We were just at your house celebrating your daughter's birthday with your mom and your family there. And to receive that call Friday from you I couldn't imagine how you felt, because it definitely shook me up and it kind of opened my eyes to like, this is reality. It's not just what you see on the internet or TV.
Yeah, no, it is hard. Honestly, like I tell my siblings, how do we just keep going? How do you, usually on my page, I would post a positive quote before I post anything. I have no positive things to say right now.
Right.
Unfortunately, everybody's like, keep faith, keep strong. But sometimes you do. Like, but for what?
You're human.
It's not
of course, you're going to have
not going
our
way.
Right.
But my mom is a strong believer, and I have to believe the same way she does. Yes. And that's what she said. I'm going to get my residency. I will. You just have to believe it.
Yes.
So I love her positivity, and that's all we can do. Because the other day I did call her. I mean, she called me and she did tell me, if you're going to like answer the phone call and you're going to be negative,
I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
She checked you real quick.
Yes.
She
and
said,
I was just
necesito
like,
positividad.
Yes. And I understand that. And she's like, I'm living it.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, but I'm watching you live it. How do I just keep going? How do I eat? How do I sleep? Knowing that you're sleeping there, knowing that you're not eating what you're supposed to be eating because of your sickness, but that's all they can give you. How do I do that? But like my brother said, we just have to push forward.
Yes.
And we'll get through it.
Yes. One day at a time. And 1 foot forward.
Yes.
But thank you so much for sharing your story, Gabby.
Thank you
for coming on Horizon and giving us a little insight as to the reality of, us that are born from immigrant parents. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for the shares, the likes. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening. This episode has been brought to you by Guerrilla Marketing, a full-service marketing agency that helps brands, business, and creators bring their ideas to life in a big way. And here's the part that I love. They also have these beautiful professional studios the Jungle Studios in Rancho Cucamonga. There's also some in their Irvine location where you can create, an experience with your brand, from social media campaigns to large scale activations. They know how to make your brand stand out in a crowded world. Their studios are equipped for photo shoots, commercials, live stream, any branded content for your business or yourself. This is a great space for you to bring that to life. Once again, it's brought to you by Guerrilla Marketing with Horizon Podcast. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, guys.